Hey everyone, what's up? It's me, Joel D. In this video, we're going to talk about setting up tracking links with ClickMagick. And no, that is not spelled incorrectly. That is how you spell ClickMagick. It's a popular tool for tracking links, and especially when you start using different sources and lead sources and paid advertisement, you're going to want better insight into what's working and what's not working. There are ways to do that with Google Analytics as well, using UTM parameters, but it's a little more difficult to do that. I'd say some people would be better off investing in a tool like ClickMagick. It's not very expensive and you can get a ton of information out of it. So I'm going to walk you through the 14-day free trial setup, which is very simple. It's just filling out a simple form, and then I'll walk you through creating tracking links. Now that we have our landing page, most of the time we're going to want to create tracking links, one for each source that we send to our tracking or to our landing page. So, you know, one for Facebook, one for Google ads, one for maybe solo ads with Udemy, one for YouTube ads, maybe some of your forums, you add a ClickMagick link, so it doesn't always have to be paid search either. So there's a lot of reasons and a lot of ways again, that we're going to be sending people to our landing page. So we want to be able to differentiate the traffic, segment it, and then analyze it. So then I'll walk you through some of the data and reviewing that data to see what's working, what's not working. And then what you do is you'll be able to optimize your campaigns. You'll be able to optimize anything on your site accordingly, just to test. Maybe it's a conversion issue with the design or the content on your site or the imagery, or maybe we want to redistribute our spend for the paid advertising. So if we have 4 different paid sources that we're driving to our landing pages and only one is performing well, we may want to put the money from the other 3 sources into that and scale up there. So much you can learn, and if you're running this and you're running your blog like a business, you need to track everything. I mean, that is how you're going to be successful. You can't just wing it. You need to set everything up in advance. We're already doing a great job. We're strategically thinking of everything we're doing so far, from the keywords we're using to the niche we're in, to what types of articles we're creating, to setting up our landing pages to be optimized for conversions. And now, once we start driving traffic, that's going to be the next thing we focus on, and we're going to be strategic there as well. And the final output is, you know, knowing your data, and that we also need to be strategic with. So ClickMagick's a good way to do this. So let's jump out and show you the tool. Now I'm at the tool, and I'll add this link below, but if you go to clickmagick.com/signup, you'll be brought to their free trial page where you can, you know, it's very simple. You fill out your name, email address, username, password, click create my free trial account, and you'll have 14 days of a free trial. And then you also have a 30-day money back refund at any time. So, you know, get in there, test it, and see if you like it or not. If you do, obviously you may not be getting the results back, but if you can understand how this works and you think it's going to be valuable for you going forward, which it will be, you're going to want to stick with this tool and utilize the tracking links for your own campaigns. All right, now I'm logged into the tool. So first things first, I highly recommend you go through the training. I can't get through everything on this. As for everything else within this course, I mean, I'm covering as much as I can and lengthening a lot of the videos just so I can show you real time how I do things and how my team does things. But at the end of the day, you got to take the responsibility to go and learn and really dive into each of these portions, including tracking, because it's so important. So they'll give you this 1-hour guide to click tracking that you can view. They also have this Experts Academy, so you can go to their courses and you can learn a ton from there. So they have an academy, they have a lot of resources to use. All right, So at a glance, these are the statistics you'll see. You'll see campaigns, links, rotators, conversions, and revenue. The first things that we're going to really focus on are links and clicks. It's because we want to see exactly who's clicking, who's performing, who's converting. So the conversions is going to be critical, and then at the end of the day, revenue will be important, but that will be a little more down the road, and we won't really focus on that right now because we need to set things up to first track the links and clicks and then who's converting. And to track conversions, like I said, we're going to have to add a pixel to our thank you page, and they have tools built in over here where we can actually create a pixel for ClickMagick to get all those results, and I'll walk you through all of that. The first thing I want to show you is just how to quickly create a link. So if you want to track a link, you want to add a link to your email, you want to add a link on social media. This is a little different than, you know, running campaigns. So if you're running paid ads like from Google ads, you're going to want to create a campaign tracking item. So we'll start off by just creating links. So if I click on links here, it'll automatically open this little creation tool. If you don't see it, all this is a drop down. So this is my little testing area, testing site. So you don't see many links down here, but this will get very big quickly. First thing you do is add link groups. I'm not going to add one right now, but how to do that, you would click on this little question mark, and you can add link groups. So if you have, you know, social media group and you have a bunch of social media links, you can group that, or Facebook, Twitter, you can separate those by group name, and then you can add these links into those groups. It's just a way to easily track your links. I'm going to name this whatever. This is just your personal identifier. So I'm going to say this is the 11 tips ebook, and I'll say it's for an email, or actually I'll say it's for a Facebook post. So I'll say Facebook 11 tips ebook, and this is just what I'm using on my page. So not necessarily an advertisement, but maybe I want to post this on social media and Facebook and see how it is being tracked and see how it's performing. All right, next thing is a tracking link. Thing to note here is this is your own unique slug. It is optional, but what you're going to want to do is actually create something short, especially if it's for social media, because you don't want a big clunky one. So we'll just add, you know, ebook and maybe Facebook. All right, so ebook, Facebook, that's our tracking link. And then the primary URL is going to be where we want to send them. So in our case, we're going to want to send them to our landing page. So I'm going to come here, take this URL, go back and enter the URL. All right, and that's really it. I click create link, and I should see it come here. There we go. And I can see now that I have total clicks, unique clicks, flagged clicks, actions, action conversion rate. We have engagements, engagement conversion rate, sales, unique customers, and sales conversion rate. Mostly what we're going to be tracking here is, because we're just doing opt-ins, is total clicks, unique clicks, actions, and conversion rate. So total clicks is going to be how many times people click your link. So it could be one person that clicks it 5 times. You'll have 5 total clicks here. Unique clicks is how many different people are clicking your links. So as I mentioned, if there was one person who clicked your link 5 times, you'd have 5 total clicks and 1 unique click. All right. And if I had 2 people who maybe the first person clicked it 5 times, but the second person just clicked it 1 time, I'd have 5 plus 1, so 6 total clicks. And then I'd have 2 unique clicks, meaning 2 unique users who clicked my link, okay, for a total of 6 times. Now actions is what we'll see when we actually set a pixel on our thank you page. We'll set that as an action. That means someone took action, they opted in, they landed on your thank you page. That fires the pixel, and the pixel will tell you that somebody converted. Okay, so if I want to test this link, I can click here on the link and it's going to give me some information. One, it's going to give me the tracking link that I can use, which we chose, and then I can make edits here if need be, and I'll see my primary URL. I can also select some of these options later where you can get a click breakdown, you can view more statistics, you can download info into a CSV. I can click on here and copy my tracking link, track conversions, do split testing, etc. And then edit should just bring me into the same area where I can edit the link, clone the link, and this will come in handy when we create, you know, because we're going to do more things with this ebook than just, you know, a Facebook post. All we'll have to do later is clone the link, rename it, rename the link itself to the source, and go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and take this link and copy it, and now the tracking link's copied, and the first thing I want to do is just Control N, create a new browser, and test that link. So I want to make sure that it goes to the correct landing page, and when I click that link, it does go to the right landing page, so that's good. Now I'll come back to the tool, and I should, if I refresh, I should see a click. So I have one total click, one unique click, no conversions. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I meant by if I were to do that again. And I'll just go to a different browser. And we're saying that now remember, this is a link that we're actually posting on Facebook, so someone would really be clicking on this. We're just entering it directly into the browser. But now if the same person clicked on that link on Facebook, I'd come back here, refresh, and I'll see 2 total clicks. But again, there's only one unique click because this sees what my IP address is, and it's only one person clicking. So I can see that. The next thing we're going to want to do is add a pixel to our thank you page, and we don't have an actual thank you page. So we could either do one of 2 things. We could create a thank you page and then add the pixel to it, or we can go back to the generic page, and I can show you how that works, the generic thank you page, and add a tracking pixel within Aweber, because you're allowed to do that. And or I can just add it to the current page of our article, which obviously we would not want to do that, because just because someone is going to that article doesn't mean that they're necessarily, you know, one of our people that are converting on our Optin. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just show you first how you would create the pixel, and then we'll figure out what we want to do for placement of that pixel. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to Tools, and when I click on that, I'll get these drop downs, and I want to create a pixel, so a tracking pixel, and I'm going to go to Pixel Builder, and it'll bring me to this screen where I want this to be in action, meaning someone took action and they filled out the form and click submit. And then I can add an optional reference value. So this really works well if you have a funnel. So because we're clicking actions, we want to know what those actions are that are taking place. If we only have one, if we don't specify a reference value like opt-in, then we're never going to know exactly which action they're taking, because we'll only have a pixel on the thank you page. So in that case, you know, the pixel is just going to tell you that one thing that they converted on the ebook. You won't know whether or not it was an upsell, whether or not it was a downsell. So we'll just put in opt-in here. All right, and now we have our conversion tracking pixel here. All right, and I can just copy this to my clipboard, and I can go out and I can add this link to my thank you page. Now I'm going to hop back to my dashboard in WordPress, and I'm going to go ahead and make a quick thank you page just to make this as realistic as possible. That's what I've decided. So if I click on pages, I am going to create a quick duplicate of my home page. I could do any page, but I'm going to do home because I already have a few links set on what I want to do. So now I have this draft. I'm going to quick edit this, call this my thank you ebook page, or 11 tips ebook. I can do the same for my slug, and my template is an Aweber landing page, but that is not true, so I'm going to change that. And now I'll update this. All right, now I'm going to click edit with Elementor. And now that I'm here, I'm just going to start deleting everything except for this top portion. Because again, this is just going to be a simple, actually, you know what, I'll keep this as well. May as well, because it'll be our thank you page, and then maybe they'll want to connect. So I'm going to go ahead, and that looks good to me. Actually, I'm not a big fan of this either, so I'm going to delete this. All right, so we now have, I'm just going to call this thank you. Check your email. And I can add a different little text area. Change this to white. Nope. All right, and just say, check your email for your free ebook. Simple enough. And now my CTA goes to that article. So instead of what I did was just send you right to the article before, now you go to this thank you page. We can set the pixel on this page, and then we'll be able to send people here instead of going directly to that article page, which isn't the best practice. Now I'll go back to my dashboard. I'm going to click in quick edit and just take this new string or slug, and I'm going to go to Aweber and replace this. So yes, I tried to cut a corner in an earlier video and not create a thank you page, but it bit me. So we'll go take care of that now. So I'm going to hop over to my Aweber account, click on edit when I'm in landing pages, click within my form, submission, custom URL, and I'm going to change this to my new slug, which is the thank you 11 tips. And now I'm going to take this and also add it here. Actually, I'm not going to want to put that here because this is just saying that it does exist, your email. So it's going to bring you to an already subscribed page. So that I actually could have kept normal. I'll just keep that as is, so it'll actually bring them to the article if they did, and that's fine because I won't want them to re-engage and re-trigger that action. All right, so save and exit, and then again, remember we need to republish that. I'll go back into my dashboard at WordPress, and now again I want to go to Aweber landing pages and just resync that. Again, you may or may not have to do this. I just like to be overly thorough. Here we go. So I'm going to click resync. let that load. And now we should be good to go. Now we still need to add our pixel to our thank you page. So I'm going to go back to ClickMagick, click Tools, Tracking Pixels, Pixel Builder. I'm going to open that in a new tab. And then I have these advanced settings I can use, or I can just say use the default settings. But all this is saying is use last click, which is recommended. So the last time someone clicks on your link, this is what's going to be used for attribution. Track duplicate conversions, no, you don't want to do that. So we'll keep that at no, and we'll just keep everything as is. And I'll add Optin. And now I need to copy this to my clipboard. Then we'll come back to our WordPress dashboard. And what you're going to need to do is download a plugin. So go to plugins, add new, search for tracking code manager. Here it is. I've already activated it, so just install it, click activate, and when you activate it, it's going to bring you right to the tool, which is under settings, tracking code manager. And what I did was set up a new tracking code. So it'll bring you to a screen at first where you need to click continue with the free version, and then it'll just give you a little link that says add your first tracking code, and it's going to bring you to this screen. And all I did here was fill in my 11 tips ebook. I pasted that tracking code right here, or you can actually, if you want, you can also grab the script. So let me see which one I used. So if I go to manager, this is what mine looked like. And I actually used the JavaScript. So you can do either. I would stick to this if you're using this, just because usually when it's asking for code, you don't really want to add the HTML code. I like to add the script, but you can try both. And to do that, just come back here and change image HTML here to JavaScript, and you can just grab that code. So I did that, copied to clipboard, came over, copy and pasted it here, named it 11 tips, clicked active, which is done by default. You want the code to be inside your head tag, so it is. Make sure this is selected all, show only on device. You want all devices. Standard code tracking in your WordPress, you want to click this. Which page do you want to insert the code? I just want it on this one page, so I clicked in specific pages or posts, and then it's going to come up with this. Make sure you click the include posts page, not the post, because this is, you know, your blog post. These are your pages, and then you can search and it'll give you a drop down of your pages, and I just selected my thank you page. All right, and that's it, and click save, and you should be good to go. And I did test that, but I have no duplicate settings, so it won't fire another action from me. But what I can do is test this. So you can go back to ClickMagick and make sure your pixel is firing correctly by going to Tools, Tracking Pixels, Pixel Debugger, and just put in the address that you use. So my thank you page address, let's see what that is. I'll come over here, copy and paste this address because this is where I want it to fire. Come back to the debugger, verify ClickMagick pixel, and there should be an action that comes up. Here we go. So action tracking pixel looks good. So we're good there. Now every time this is, you know, there's an action on your form submission for that ebook, they're going to be brought here, and this action tracking pixel will fire, and it will show up in your actions here. Okay. and that's really it. So like I said, we did a couple things here. We signed up for a ClickMagick free trial. We added our first link. We tested the link. We made sure that this link, if we used it anywhere, Facebook may be a bad example because Facebook's kind of a pain when it comes to using, you know, weird links like this. So you may want to, I believe ClickMagick has another option in here to use for Facebook. Just look into that. Like I said, I can't cover everything in this one, so just look at the trainings and I'm sure you'll see that. But these are, so we created our first tracking link, we tested it, we know what the total clicks, unique clicks, and actions are, and what the percentage is. We want this to be as high as possible. So once you start adding a bunch of links and a bunch of sources in here, you're going to see a big difference between some of your sources and where they're coming from. And again, you can optimize your site, optimize your ad spend, etc. around that, or just optimize your content, whichever is converting the best. You want to make sure you're kind of following those types of landing pages, and just keep tweaking and making adjustments as needed. And that's how you're gonna, once you get used to tracking all of your links, and there's a ton of them in here, and you're grouping them into specific buckets, you're gonna be able to see, and you're gonna be able to get a lot of visibility into what needs to be changed on your site. All right, so that's ClickMagick. You can do similar things, and I use Google Analytics a lot. It's a little more complicated because I'll use Tag Manager, and there's ways to set, you know, tags manually for certain actions. So if someone clicks on something, if you scroll down to a certain spot on the page, like there's ways to trigger actions that way. And also for UTM parameters for when I'm creating campaigns, sometimes I'll use that, but maybe we'll do that in a later video. That one's a little more complicated, and this one's just out of the box pretty easy. So once you get this set up and you start creating links, and you're adding these links and providing them to, you know, maybe a Udemy solo ad, you can see exactly which is performing the best, which is not performing the best, and make changes from there. All right, hopefully this was helpful. I will reach out to me if you need any help, and I'll help you out any way I can to get this set up. Also, if you want to, you know, look into the training and the resources, I recommend doing that. Reach out on Facebook group, and let us know if you need anything. All right, thanks everyone. I'll see you in the next video. We're going to start driving traffic to our website. So thanks again, and I'll talk to you soon.